You can skip this part if you don't want to waste your time, but just a brief background for what happened. So this is where you can see all your notes on your phone. Like if you search in the search bar, you can see that your notes are still there. And if you go on like the settings on your phone, storage settings, you can see that the notes app has got significant amount of data, even though the actual when you open the app it's empty. So that way you know that the data is still there. So yeah, and I've been wanting to make a video on it like for a long time, and I've not been able to. So yeah, here it is now. Hopefully it's not too late. Again, you can skip this part, but I just want to quickly demonstrate the problems to make sure that we have the same problem. So I'm just going to search for a note that, and then show you that it's not in my notes app. So I'm just going to search for like a file name that I had, code signal. But if I search the same thing in the search bar, you can see that it's there. So, but you can't open it. Try to click on it and nothing happens. But now if you go on the Notes app in the iPhone storage, you can see that the Notes app has still got a lot of data. The first thing you need to do is download the iMazing app, or you can use any of the backup extractor you want, but I recommend iMazing because that's the one I used. Alternatively, you can also download iPhone Backup Extractor, which works, I think, just about fine. So once you've downloaded that, you need to open that, and I downloaded it quite a while ago. I've not updated it, so I'm using this version. So I'm assuming that it still works the same, but yeah. And then you need to locate your backups. So let's say, and if your notes app is still showing that you have the notes, if you like search it and then you can still see your notes, then I recommend you back it up now again maybe. Yeah, I just like to point out that you don't want to like mess it up. So just try with what you already have, and then if you can't find your notes that way, then back it up again and then try it again, because it may be that you've already got it in one of your previous backups. So, and if you try to like back it up again, it might overwrite the previous old backup. So don't back it up now again for now, or just use your old ones. Click on that, go on file system, and then what you want to do is find app groups, and or you can just go all the way and find group.com.apple.notes. You want to find this one. So you have this is essentially what you need. So you want to copy to PC. You want this whole folder to be copied. I'm just going to do it here. So I'll start copying the whole folder. I already got it, so I'm just gonna delete it. Cancel it. There's also another option for iPhone Backup Extractor. You don't have to do this. It's only if the first one doesn't work. So yeah, you can download this one, and yeah, I mean, if it works with the iMazing, you can just skip this part. It's just extra. Similarly, in this app, you can locate your backup, and you're gonna go into expert mode, groups, locate the same folder, this one, and select, okay, extract selected, and start extracting. Once you've got that, it should look something like this. It looks something like this. essentially where you have your data is in one of these files. Hopefully one of them should be, and this is empty. If you have this one, then you're in luck. This, you got, so once you have this, you can of course explore your stuff, see if you can find anything else that you can just directly retrieve. Yeah, these are all your files. For this part you'll need a Mac. If you already got a Mac, that's great. If you don't, then I do have a slightly different version towards the end which can help you get your text files. This is not as good as this one, but yeah, I'll talk about it at the end. First you need to go into Finder, select go to folder and type in this address. Once you're in that file, locate group containers, and then go to the same, so go to the folder called groups.com.apple.notes, and you see that this has similar files to what you extracted from your backup. Now this is because Apple, I think, stores notes on a Mac and phones in a similar way. So what we are about to do is that replace these notes file with the notes files we got from the backup extractor, and then when you open the notes app on the Mac, we should be able to see our notes that were on the phone. But then before you delete this, make sure you have a backup copy of the notes on your Mac, because you don't want to lose those. So do this at your own risk. My notes initially were empty anyways, so I had no notes on my Mac, so I didn't really think about it too much. I just deleted it because I had nothing to lose. But if you have notes on your Mac as well, make sure you make a secure copy of that, in case that, because when you delete those files, you see that the notes app will have nothing in it, and yeah, so it will just automatically create a new note, but then it'll again generate all these new files again. So that's empty right now. All the notes app is empty on the Mac. So the next step is to replace these files with the files we have. Now go ahead and find those exact files that we have got from the iMazing software. Okay, what we want to do now is go back to the library folder and find that group container folder. So folder, library, group containers, Apple Notes, and then delete these files again, and copy and paste our files from the backup into that new folder. Okay, so if you go back to the Notes app, you may see that your notes are there, or maybe not. Maybe you just have your iCloud notes and your On My Phone notes are still missing. That's a folder called iPhone 05. Actually, that's not my phone's app, phone's notes. So to get that, you need to do one more step, and that is to find the backup folder from your phone backup, and find that SQL file which has data in it. So as you can see, that one had 81 MB. So you want that file, you want this file with the data in it, so I'm trying to be as clear as possible. So you want the file called notestore.sqlite from the backup you just got into the group container, the group.com.apple.notes folder on the Mac, and which should also have a file called notestore.sqlite. Delete that and then copy and paste the file from the backup folder that you got from the phone. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or however you can contact me. Now this is the folder on the Mac, and you want to delete these three files. So notes.sqlite, shm, wal, and the other one, the .sqlite. You want to delete these three files, move to trash, and then paste the one from the backup folder there, and then open the app again, and now you should have all your files. As you can see here, I'll blur it out, but yeah, you should have all your files. If you do face any problems, let me know. and I'll try to help. I don't know how I actually figured this out, to be honest. Another thing I'd like to show you guys quickly is if you don't have a Mac, then there's another way, which is to just download this as this software, and what it helps you is browse your text files. So you won't be able to get your images and sorts, but you can get your text file and such. So you can download that. If you have any problem with downloading this, let me know. But what you want to do is then once you download it, you have this folder, locate the app, so it will be that one. You open it, you see something like this. You want to do open database and find where your notes are saved base, and you essentially want to go into backup and then find the one which actually has a significant bit of data. So as you can see, open that one, and you see something like this, and what you want to do is browse data, select Z iCloud notes, whatever sync objects, and this is a really big table where you essentially can find most of your data, hopefully. I've done this a long time ago, so I've forgotten, but then I'm just going to try to get this video out quickly, and then I'll, as I get questions, I'll try to answer those. So what happens is, if you scroll all the way down and find their title, you can essentially see all the titles of the notes, like most of the notes if they're still there. I'm gonna do this. So these are all my notes that I had, and there are so many columns that you can figure out. You can try out stuff. So that's what I hate. You have to go back all the way. Yeah, you get the idea. These are all your notes. So let's go with traffic science, whatever. 74, 84 is ZPK. We want to go data. I think you put that data. So I'm not quite sure, but I think these are where all your data is actually stored. So, but they're not stored in normal text way. So if you can somehow figure out how to uncode it, then that'd be great. But yeah, these are the binary files that you see. You can try figuring out. I have not figured it out how to encrypt it or like get into text format, but if you can do that, that'd be great. But yeah, if I find out a way, I'll update you guys. Yeah, sometimes you're able to read the text file as they are, but you'll be able to get your titles at least, so the titles of your notes. So to do that, you just need to go into the Z iCloud syncing object database for the database table at the top, where you saw your titles and everything, and there's another column for snippets. And I don't know, there might be data column as well where you can see your actual text. I've not actually explored much on that one, but yeah, ideally you want a Mac, and that way you can get everything back. Okay, thank you.